Hi guys, let's talk a bit about dynamic queue. I really wanted to do that video to explain everyone what's going on with dynamic queue, why is everyone so mad about it, and maybe point the problem as clear as possible so Riot can make it a bit better. I will be talking about all the different problems, so the IQ time, the role and position problems, the consequences of this problem on League of Legends community and on League of Legends in general. And at first I will begin talking about what's wrong with dynamic queue and where is it so wrong. So I will be talking about a minority of the players. So according to leagueofgraph.com's 99% of the players are didn't even reach Diamond 4, okay? 1% of entire players of League of Legends are Diamond 4 at least, and 0.1% are Master of Challenger. I will talk only about the top 1%, and actually I really think League of Legends isn't so bad for the 99% who is not Diamond 4, okay? So let's talk about the queue time. The queue time can be really high. For some player, it can go to 1 hour or maybe more when you are already high low. So in average, when you are bronze to gold, you get a game in average 30 seconds. When you are platinum, you can get a game in 30 seconds or maybe sometimes 10 minutes depending of the roles you choose. When you are diamond or char, it can take 2 minutes, 1 hour, and sometimes you will never find a game. That being said, the question is why is it so long? Because the amount of players is higher and the amount of players playing solo queue because of the new system is higher in general, but the matchmaking conditions are bigger, like far bigger than in season 5, because the matchmaking have to take care of roles and of the premates, so it has to balance all the premates, all the roles, so everyone gets primary or at least secondary, and it tries to put premade against premade and dynamic to duo queue and trio queue against duo queue and trio queue, but sometimes it doesn't work. But trying to do that the best way possible, it takes a lot of time. So maybe the players are more, but the matchmaking conditions are even higher. So before in season 5, a player could choose into three different queue. He could try to go 5v5 with his team, he could try solo and duo queue, and he could even go custom and scrim against other teams. For the top 1% of League of Legends, Diamond 4 and more, actually 90% of the time spent will be in solo duo queue, 10% in 5v5 and 1% in custom and scrim. I talk about all the top 1% in average, okay? Now, by the way, the ladder you had to grind, your social representation of your level was there, the solo duo queue. And if you would try to find a team, you had to have a good elo in solo and duo queue ladder. Now that the 5v5 and solo duo are mixed together, people will try to either go 5v5 or solo duo queue, which make the queue time really higher, because you tag in one queue with 10% more player maybe, but when you tag in this queue, you instantly decide into two different queue in when you are in 5v5 or not. So actually the social pressure put on player force them to grow, to grind this ladder and go as far as possible into this, but it's actually really obvious that the 5v5 makes it way easier. So when you are a solo queue player, you have to decide between the solo duo queue. You will get maximum 200 LP even if you are the best player. I know tons of top ladder player, top challenger players who used to get top 10, top 20, top 50 maybe. But those players actually playing only solo queue will never get better than 200 or 300 LP. You can ask anyone in solo queue, ask anyone to take an account and try to grind it as far as possible. It will never go higher than 300 LP. So there is more randomness because the system is really, really fucked up with all the roles and all the dynamic queue pre-made matched against solo queue players. There is more randomness and it decreases your win rate. Of course, you will get more than 50% win rate if you're a good player, but you will never get 80% or 90% as you will do as a really, really good solo queue players. Right now, when you tag in solo queue in really high elo, you can get matched against pre-made of 5 as a solo queue player, which makes no sense and makes it impossible to win if, for example, they swap lane. So you want to go into a 5v5 because the social pressure forces you to get higher in elo and to grind this ladder. So you will go 5v5 because it's easy for 100 LP. If you just swap lane, you will get an easy win against people who don't know about swap lane if you have a minimum of knowledge into this game. That being said, the queue time, the major problem of the queue time comes from this. The split between 5v5 and solo duo queue, the mixing between them, which make it obvious for the players to build a 5v5 team. That's not a bad thing because people will have that will to grow the ladder, to grind the ladder, and they will find a team. But for those player, casual player but good player who wants to play solo duo, they can't grind the ladder anymore. I have a challenger account. I played only 5v5 on it. I don't try hard, I get challenger. I have a solo queue account. I try my life as hard as possible. I can get higher than 100 LP in master. I don't know why. Just too much randomness. And I don't meet anyone that I know. Actually, all the good players are not playing solo queue anymore. When they try, here is what happened. Frogan, for example, 1000 LP. Most of the time he plays 5v5, he plays dynamic queue as 5, but sometimes he just wants to train his mechanics. And he gets matched with Diamond 4, Diamond 1, Diamond 1, Diamond 1, Diamond 3, Challenger 1, Challenger, Master, Master, Master. Well, honestly, I don't know any of those players. There is one good example. Challenger with Diamond 3, Master, Diamond 3. He got 0-3-1 with this game. He just lost. He got destroyed. Actually, this game makes no sense for him. Even though he played perfect and is a very good player, he just lost the game. And all those guys, Jesus, Baka Senpai, Boas, I don't know any of them because actually I just don't know any of them. Actually, when you will play solo queue in season 5, you will be matched with at least 3 or 4 players with a good or a very, very good knowledge of the game. Actually, you just get matched with people who can't go as 5, who don't have friends or don't have team because they don't have the knowledge to have a team. So they just go solo and you get matched with them as a team player who can't play with their teammates because they are not there. Well, okay, I talked about queue time now. Now let's talk a bit about the roles problem. So you had this problem already, I think, if you are already high elo. If you're low elo, you won't, because there are so many people that you will always get your primary most of the time. But for really high elo players, this is something else, because the queue time gets so high. Riot doesn't really care if you get your primary or not. It will just go and get you matched as soon as possible. So let's talk about roles. Why is it not better right now? Because now you can choose your role. You will of course have a better League of Legends experience, but actually, if you're a one-trick pony, so if you play only one role, it will be shit. If you play 2 roles, it will be perfect. If you play 3 or 4 roles, it will be good, but sometimes you won't know what you can't but feel, because you will definitely have a out to get your worst role and just be bad. You can't put you're forced to put 2 roles, but you will have to delete 1 or 2 of your good roles. And if you main 5 roles, of course this is awesome, you just put Phil and GG. But before this season 6, when you were able to play all the roles, it was really good for your win rate, because you will always feel and everyone will get his main. Now being able to main 5 roles to play firewalls very well just gives you a better queue time, but it doesn't give you a better win rate. Before that, it will give you a better win rate. The ability to play every rose will give you the ability to grind the ladder really easily. But right now, it's just winning you time, but not winning you games. That's why that is really bad. Now, I will just point out an example of why the dynamic queue system will not always give you the best choice. Let's imagine I am a 3-4 rose player and I play all this role really decent, but I'm not the best. So orange is for not so good, green is for really good, red is for really bad. Here is a one-trick pony player jungle. Let's talk about a one-trick pony Rengar. He will just put jungle first and top secondary because he wants jungle, obviously. But he's forced to put secondary reroll. He will be bad on top lane. This one is good on mid and top, but not awesome. And this one is really good on 2 rows and only 2 rows, and he will put jungle and mid. We don't give a fuck about AD and sub, say just get 0 and we're fine, okay? So, right now, that is what the system will do. It will try to get as much as primary rolls as it can. So we will get this one in mid lane, this one in top lane, and this one in jungle. So we get 2 primary wall, but bad solo laners. This one is jungle, this one get top, and this one get mid lane. So overall, this is not so good. What if we just do one permutation, and we do that? We have this one on secondary wall, this one on secondary wall, and this one on his main, and actually we have 2 green and 1 orange, while before we had 1 orange, 1 red, and 1 green. So that's basically an improvement of a really bad top laner into a decent top laner, and a decent mid laner into a really good mid laner, just by permutating once the rows. With the system, you can do that. That's why I've thought about 2 solutions. One is really hard to apply, and another one is really easy for Riot to apply. So I propose my solutions. I will start with the easiest solution. Instead of just asking for a role, telling people you play mid, you play sup, you play top, just tell people your suggested role is mid. You don't even have to tell, the other player doesn't even have to know what role you have, because they have a suggested role as well. But you are able to put a preset message that will be automated, telling, for example, pref mid sup, can top, can't AD jungle. If every player just takes the time to preset this message, they will come into the game and everyone will tell his main role, if he is one-trick pony or not, if he can play 2 roles, 3 roles, 4 roles, even 5. And people will be able to switch their roles to get the better out of them. So you won't have that problem to have 2 first time in your game while you have 3 really good players. So 3 primary with 2 secondary, but the 2 secondary are really bad, while the 3 primary can play secondary role pretty well. The system can't actually analyze that with only 2 clicks like that. How can the system know that right now? How can the system know that I'm a really good top laner? It can't. How can the system know that I'm a main jungle but I'm a really bad top laner? It can't. So that's actually really bad. There is a big lack of information who adds a lot of randomness into our games. Now is the hard way. A really complex algorithm, but you can take time to understand it. So basically, here is the system. You have your 5 rows. You can choose to rate yourself from 0 to 3 with what I call skill points. For example, I'm a decent mid laner, I'm a good mid laner, I'm a good support, I'm the worst AD carry in the world, I will put no points there, I'm the worst jungle, I'm a decent top laner. So here is how it looks. After that, everyone does that, okay? And that is what the system does. You have to put at least 5 skill points. So basically 3, 2, or 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or 2, 2, 1, etc. You can put all the points you need if you want to put all the 12 skill points you can. The 15 skill points you can. And the system will try to not put first times, so basically one skill point player against main role three skill point players. So that is kinda balanced. You won't have your jungler getting crushed by another main jungler while he's just secondary jungle. And the system will just try to make the sum of skill points of the team, of both teams, the sum of the skill point difference less or equal than 2. And the matchmaking will just be an algorithm that will optimize the total sum of the skill points. So the level of the game will be as high as possible. And using that, you have a perfect dynamic queue system. But I can understand this is not really easy to rate yourself, and people can abuse it by putting, for example, 2 instead of 3 points to get match against 1. But doing that, they decrease the odds that they get their main role, because of course the odds they get their role is proportional to the amount of skill points they put on their role. Okay. That being said, I think I proposed all the solutions you need Riot Games to improve your games, and I don't know what to say. I just want to conclude by talking a bit about why is it really a problem. Actually, all your players used to they meet, all the players meet in solo queue. They create team by meeting people that they found good in solo queue. Now solo queue doesn't exist. It's just a bunch of players who abuse the system or not. And there is teams and there is solo queue players. Solo queue players won't ever find a team if they are randoms. If they are well known from season 5 or 4, they will get a team easily. But if they are not and are beginners, but they improve really fast and get into this solo queue, they will stuck in Diamond 1 or maybe Master, and no teams will take them serious. Because before you could tell, oh, this guy is Master or Challenger, he must be good, I will try out him for my team. But right now it makes no sense. Solo queue means nothing else than you are able to play with your team or not. So you won't have new player, new incomers, new challenger for the top pro scene, unless you find a solution to give the players an opportunity to prove themselves as solo players or duo queue players. So that's the problem, because when all the good players will disappear from the scene, only the players who were waiting but were well known will be able to take their place, but the new players who are randoms will remain random. And there is another problem, because actually you need to train your mechanics. You won't train those or first time champions in scrims. It makes no sense. You want to train this in high-elo solo queue against good player who will play well. You don't want stupid swap lane when you play solo queue. You just want to train your mechanics, to train yourself into chaotic team fights. You just want to carry your team, but you want this to be balanced, so you have a chance, you have an impact on your game. You could before have 75-80% win rate. Now the max you can get is 60-55 in high-elo solo queue, because there is too much randomness because of this, because of those games when you get that one trick pony Ranga who will not play jungle and stuff like that. That being said, Riot, you do what you want. I try to help you. If you are already high-elo players and think what I did is right, tell me in commentary section. I'm already sorry for my English. I'm a French nerd. I can speak English very well, but I really want everyone to be able to watch this video. So have a good day, have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks a lot for watching, because it took me a long time to record this. And see you guys on the Summoner Rift. I hope for our next season will be way better.